some of our other colleagues just a minute or two just to join. I know Member Mackenzie is having technical issues, and I've just resent him the link. Who is struggling. So Member Bartman is going to be standing in for Member Mackenzie. I'm sure
Morning, Member Postman. Apologies, I'm on my device. I'm not going to put my video or anything on. I just recovered from load shedding now.
No, I'm also scared of putting my video on because I don't think my internet is going to last. But colleagues, good morning to this meeting of the Standing Committee on Finance, Economic Opportunities and Tourism. A very warm welcome to you all on this cold day. My name is Gillian Bosman and I am the chairperson for this committee. I'm just going to ask that the members online, if you could please introduce yourselves.
Morning, Member Bartman.
Good morning, Chairperson Derek America.
Good morning, Members America and Member Bartman. Just to note, Member Bartman is standing in for Member Mackenzie, who is having technical difficulties. I also want to welcome our colleagues from the WCPP and any other colleagues who might be joining us. On my list, I can't see anybody else, but a very warm welcome to our procedural support. Ms. Adams, do we have any other apologies that we need to note?
Good morning, members. I have not received any apologies, Chairperson.
Thank you very much. Just again, I know, and I don't need to remind anybody on this call, but we are observing the rules of engagement for virtual meetings. So I'd ask that you please use the raise your hand function if you'd like to interject at the point of order at any point. I'm going to keep my video off just to ensure that there's some stability. As you know, the ESCOM blackouts have made it impossible for us to conduct meetings in the normal way, but we will try and soldier on. Colleagues, this meeting has been called to deal with a series of administrative matters that we need to dispense with. And we're going to jump right into that because I know that we are all going into different stages of load shedding. And the first item on our agenda is the consideration and adoption of the draft annual activities report for the 2021-2022 financial year. I'm now going to ask Ms. Adams if she could flight that document just for us to have a look at. Okay, colleagues, we've now got that document on the screen. And all of this documentation was sent through to members, so members would have had an opportunity to read them. But I'm now tabling page 1 of the check. Ms. Kluter, can we just go up to the top, sorry? There we go. So now we've tabled page 1, which deals with attendance and also outlines the alternates as well as the introduction. We're now moving to page 2, which lists the reporting departments and entities as well as the overview of the activities. And then page 3, which deals with the detail of the discussions that took place. Page 4, dealing with oversight visits. Page 5 deals with the legislation process. Colleagues, can I ask, are there any additions, deletions, or amendments that needs to be made to this report?
None.
Thank you. May I then ask that we get a proposer and a seconder for the adoption of the committee report?
Chairperson, I move that we adopt.
Thank you very much, Member America. Member Bartman?
I support.
Thank you very much. The report is then adopted. Colleagues, we then move on, and we're now going to consider the draft committee report for the committee for the annual reports of the Provincial Treasury and the Western Cape Gambling and Racing Board for the year that ended the 31st of March 2021. If we can now flight that report. Ms. Adams or Ms. Kluter, are we able to flight that one, or should I do it from my side?
Chair, I think Ms. Kluter is doing it.
Apologies, members, we're not cheating. No, it's showing on my side, but it's a bit of a lag from my side. I think it's the load shedding, but it's screening on my side. Maybe just a few seconds.
I think you are.
Things are better. Can you see the report?
You are victim of load shedding. Colleagues, can you see it on my screen at the moment?
We can.
So this is the draft report of the Standing Committee on Finance, Economic Opportunities and Tourism on the annual reports of the Provincial Treasury and the Western Cape Gambling and Racing Board for the year 31st March 2021. And as soon as we go through this, we will then add the date. So page 1 is just an introduction. Page 2 deals with the observations and concerns. Page 3 is a continuation of that. It speaks specifically to the work of National Treasury. Page 4 deals with the findings and concerns around the Western Cape Gambling and Racing Board. Page 5 is a continuation of that discussion. And then page 6 contains the resolutions and actions. Colleagues, is there anybody that would like to make any changes, additions, or deletions to this document? I see no hands. Can I get a proposer for the adoption of this report? Ms. Partman?
I move to adopt.
Thank you very much. Mr. America?
Support that, Chair.
Thank you very much. I was going to say, now I need to just figure out how to unshare my screen. Ms. Adams, is that your screen sharing?
No, Chair, that's not mine.
That's mine, Chairperson. It's Lizette. I'm sharing the report.
Thank you very much. So that report is then duly adopted and supported. We're now going on to the next report, which is the deliberations on the resolutions of the draft committee report on the oversight visit to the Cape Town Film Studios. Ms. Kluter, if I may ask you to please flight that report for that meeting that took place on the 25th of February 2022.
This is the one on my screen now, Chairperson.
Perfect. Sorry, thank you. I was reading off my screen. I must actually just focus on your screen.
Yeah, so it's this one flighting now.
Yes, it is. So we are now looking at page 1, which deals with the attendance of the delegation. Okay, we can go over to page 2, which details the tour that we took to the film studios, as well as the briefing by Delta Airlines. And in that matter that has now been successfully concluded and hopefully results in more tourists coming to our shores. And we can go on to page 3. Which dealt with remote work visas, which is still an issue we are waiting for national government to wake up to. Then dealing with film permits on page 3 as well. Page 4 then details the discussion and gives us a list of the observations that members took to the Cape Town Film Studios. And then page 5 we go on to and then there were no resolutions and actions taken at that meeting. Colleagues, are there any items that you'd like us to change on this report? Or are we happy to adopt it as is? Ms. Bartman?
I move to adopt.
Thank you very much. Mr. America?
Excuse me, Chair. I second the proposal.
Thank you very much. That report into our oversight visit to the Cape Town Film Studios is then considered as well as adopted. Colleagues, we will now move on to the consideration and adoption of draft committee minutes. We'll start with the committee minutes for the 26th of January, 2022. Okay, the first page covers the attendance. The second page covers the welcome, as well as outlining the committee's visit to the Pick n Pay market stores in Langa, as well as the consideration of the other items. Colleagues, that's the minutes. May I please ask that we have a proposer and a seconder for these minutes? Ms. Bartman?
I move to adopt.
Thank you very much. Mr. America?
I second the proposal. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Colleagues, we'll now move on to those minutes are then duly considered and adopted. We'll now move on to the committee minutes for the meetings of the 17th, the 18th, and the 25th of February. Colleagues, the first page deals with the attendance. We go. The second page deals with the meat of the meeting, outlining the discussion with Transnet and all the other stakeholders. Then it deals with resolutions and actions. There we go, colleagues. Those minutes are then tabled for your consideration. Are there any items you'd like to change, or are we happy for the minutes to be adopted? Ms. Bartman?
Thank you, Chair. I move to adopt, but I also would just like to say I see that the Transnet Cape Town Port Terminal has, since these recommendations, adopted the recommendation of having it open 24/7. So I'm hoping that they will also soon come back to say that we can now use the Belcon station in order to get some of our containers via rail to the station and the terminal as well. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much for that adoption. We'll certainly follow up and see whether anything else has changed. Member America?
Chairperson, I second the adoption. Proposal, sorry.
Thank you very much. Those minutes are then duly supported and adopted. We'll now move on to the minutes of the 1st, the 17th, and the 18th of March.
We haven't, could I, Chairperson Lizette? It's the 18th of February.
Sorry, I've got too many numbers in front of me. Sorry, we're dealing with the minutes of the 18th of February. Sorry, it was all written in one line on my side, sorry. I know the previous chairperson of this meeting preferred full day conferences over meetings, so I thought it was all one meeting.
It's too early to be chattera.
I'm now tabling the first page of the minutes of the 18th of February. Colleagues, you would have seen there the attendance of that meeting. Page 2 deals with the matters discussed, which was a briefing by the City of Cape Town, as well as by DDAT. Then it deals with the page with the resolutions and the actions of the committee. Colleagues, that is then the documents for our consideration. If I could just ask that we just correct the sentence, if we go further up, I think it's page 3 where it says the briefing by the City of Cape Town. If you can just add the capital C for Cape Town. There we go. Colleagues, are there any changes or additions that you'd like to make, or are we happy to propose these minutes for adoption? Ms. Bartman?
I move to adopt with the amendment.
Thank you very much. Member America?
Second, Chair.
Thank you very much. The minutes for the meeting held on the 18th of February is thus duly adopted. We will now go on to the minutes of the 25th of February. Colleagues, these minutes are now on your screens, and this is the minutes of the tour of the Cape Town Film Studios. Page 1 deals with attendance. We can move on to the next page. So that page outlines the discussion as well as the delegations. Ms. Bartman?
Chair, I think it's on page 2. Ms. Rolwick's surname, I think, ends with a K and not as, I think it's after the C, we just need to add an extra K. Because in the previous minutes we included a K, so now I'm not sure if it ends with a C or if it ends with a K.
Let's add the K in. Okay, are there any other changes to this document, or do we have a proposer?
I move to adopt with the amendments.
Thank you very much, Ms. Bartman. Mr. America?
Second the move, Chair, to adopt.
Thank you very much. The minutes for the meeting on the 25th of February 2022 is thus adopted. We'll now move over to the minutes of the meeting of the 1st of March. Okay, the first page deals with the attendance. This meeting was for the election of the chairperson. It was a fairly short meeting. Are there any, Mr. America?
I move to adopt, Chair.
Thank you very much, Ms. Bartman.
I second.
Thank you. The minutes for the 1st of March is then duly adopted. We'll now move on to the 17th of March. We go, the first page I'm tabling deals with attendance. And this was the consideration of a 3 provincial treasury. The second page deals with the discussion on that vote. The next page deals with our resolutions. And then the meeting was adjourned. May we have a proposer for these sets of minutes? Mr. America?
Chairperson, I move that we adopt.
Thank you very much, Member Bartman.
Seconded.
Thank you very much. Those minutes are then duly adopted. We move on to the next set. That's the meeting of Friday, the 18th of March. And the first page deals with attendance. Okay, then we move on to the next page. We're on page 2, and this was the budget vote for vote 12. Page 3 outlines the committee's discussion on the budget vote, as well as the resolutions and actions taken by the committee. This meeting was also adjourned at 11:45. Colleagues, can we have a proposer and a seconder for the sets of minutes? Mr. America?
Chairperson, I propose that we adopt.
Thank you very much. Ms. Bartman?
Seconded.
Thank you. We will now then move on to the minutes of the 6th of April. Page 1 of this minutes deals with the attendance. This meeting was the conversation between the National Department of Transport, the Department of Economic Opportunities and Tourism, as well as AXA on the Delta Airlines issue. The next page deals with our resolutions on that. May we have a proposer and a seconder for these sets of minutes? Mr. America?
Chairperson, I move that we adopt.
Thank you very much. Honorable Bartman?
Seconded.
Thank you. We'll now move on to the minutes of the 3rd of, sorry, those minutes are then duly adopted. Sorry, I'm jumping the gun here. I'm watching my load shedding clock tick down. The next minutes is the 3rd of June, which was a meet and greet with the new Minister of Finance and Economic Opportunities and key senior staff, and we visited the Westgrove one-stop shop in St. George's Mall, where we had coffee and took a tour of the facility. So page 1 deals with the agenda, with the attendance. Page 2 deals with the discussion, and no sort of formal resolutions were taken, but the committee accepted an invitation from the Provincial Treasury to visit the Procurement Client Centre in Century City, and we will schedule that. I'm going to propose that we adopt this minutes. Member Bartman?
Seconded.
Thank you very much. Colleagues, that then is our sort of consideration of the sets of minutes as well as the reports for this committee. Are there any other items that I needed to table that I haven't tabled?
Sorry, Chairperson Lizette. Saida, did I flag 7th of February? I think we did, eh?
7th of February?
There's no 7th of February. So
Yeah.
It was the 17th of February.
17th, yeah, 17th, but not 7th.
Okay, cool. Now then we sorted.
We didn't meet on the 7th of February.
Yeah.
Or at least I don't remember us meeting if we did.
It
No,
was my
Chairperson,
birthday.
we didn't meet on the 7th of February. When was visit week?
That was just before the visit week.
No,
Oh,
it's correct. There's no minutes of the 7th of Feb, sorry.
Okay. Sorry, I think I might have confused you as well with my mumbled, jumbled reading.
No, all good.
Perfect. Colleagues, Ms. Adams, is there anything that I've missed?
No, Chair, I think you have everything.
Colleagues, and then for now, administratively, we are up to date. Our next meeting is an oversight visit to the Cape Town International Airport, and you will receive communication in this in due regard. Thank you very much for making some time available during your constituency period, as well as those colleagues who are joining us from the by-election in Matikama. We really do appreciate it. Thank you very much to our support staff, Ms. Adams and Ms. Kluter, as well as our colleagues from IT for supporting us today. I feel very sorry for Siraj and everybody else, because I think people are now going to realize that they can't log into Teams. I know remember Mackenzie was having quite a lot of struggles, so I suspect you'll be busy, but hopefully there are no other meetings taking place. Members, with that, this meeting is now adjourned, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye, everybody.